Yesterday, I explained a little bit about what's next for the podcast. Today, I want to explain a little bit about where the brand is going. Then we'll get right back to the regular scheduled programming of great, simple dad advice. But I thought it would be really good, since you've been listening, you've been a loyal listener, to give a little bit of backdrop of where all this is going. Why does this guy that you hear on the internet keep publishing these episodes every week to help you, the dad, become a better dad? Well, one simple truth is it matters. Something about fatherhood to me has always deeply resonated with my own story of my own growth through fatherhood. And I realized the potential of what fatherhood has on our kids, on ourselves, on our marriage. There are so many aspects of fatherhood that allows us as men to deepen our connection to ourselves and understand more of how our actual story can help others. And that leads me into one area that has always been at the big end of this dream, which is professional speaking. Way back, ever since losing my job, one of my big goals was to be a professional speaker. Corona completely rewired that, and life went in a different direction. But speaking in front of a group of 10,000 people, that moment has been at the end of my road. That is ultimately where I want to go. I want to be on a stage to influence fatherhood on a deeper level, to influence people's stories in a way that allows them to let go of how it holds them back and enable them to propel them forward. It's been something probably even since 2017, this thought in the back, but almost like guys like you do not do professional speaking. So through all the different things that I've done and grown through and practiced and all the different clubs and trainings for professional speaking that I've gone through, it's time to give that the attention that it's always deserved. But now on the other side of September 1st, it becomes more possible and becomes more the ability to just connect with more people and be able to tell my story and pitch the idea of speaking to an organization. So I'm really excited for where that can go, because ultimately at the core of what we're talking about here, with every episode that I record, there's a thought of how can we reframe our story to go from limiting us to our full potential. And ultimately, that I want to be my big message, because engagement is something corporations spend billions of dollars to solve. But as a self-recovering unengaged employee, I know that it wasn't about the billions of dollars they spent on engagement. It was about the inner story of who I wasn't that got in the way. And so I want to be able to help organizations fix that mindset, help employees realize how they can reach their own potential without the company spending billions of dollars, and achieve the targets and goals they're trying to, and increase engagement, which is what they're measuring. Something else within that is coaching. Coaching has been at the fundamental basis of what I do and what I really love doing here in 2021. I launched the It's Time to Come Home coaching program back in April, and the results with dads going through that has just been incredible. It's almost one of those feelings where you think you're saying the right stuff, and you hope you're saying the right stuff, and then when you say it, and then a dad applies it, and it works, it's that first feeling that you're like, wow, this is something that isn't just something that you hear out there online, that this stuff actually works, and the way that I put it together is really being effective for the dads that are utilizing it. If that is something that you'd like to know more on, hit me on Instagram at Ben_Killoy. I'd love to have a conversation. Everybody gets a free coaching call to see if there's even an option or an opportunity to work. And in that coaching call is the opportunity to get some clarity on whatever it is that you're looking to get through. A third component of that is writing. Writing a book has always been on my heart. Always been on my heart. I've loved blogging. It was where I first started way back in 2017, was writing. But through all the different things of life, figuring it out, still having a full-time job, writing always kind of took a back burner. And even this last year and a half, I feel like I've connected even deeper to my story with an ability to articulate in a way that could really help a lot of people. So a book will be in the future, within probably starting to write in the next 6 months, of figuring out where that fits in, who I'm going to partner with, all the different things that go with writing a book. But a book is something you can also look forward to, part of this overall business of fatherhood brand. Those three things, book, speaking, and coaching, are kind of like my three-legged stool. And those three things are essentially where everything is going to be built from. I'm so excited to have you, the listener, and the fan of what we talk about here every day on the podcast, and supporting it and sharing it, because this podcast continues to grow over and over and over because of people like you. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for sharing this podcast, and continue to do that. And if you have not left a review on iTunes, those mean the world to me. I read every single one, and they help the podcast be discovered within the podcast player on Apple. So thank you so much for being supportive of this podcast, and we'll be back again with you on Monday with our regular scheduled program.